Hey, good afternoon to all my automotive aftermarket North American peoples. It's Carm Capriato. It's Aftermarket Weekly. We're in week 118, and we have Seth Thorson with us. Ain't that cool? Eurotech Auto Service experts out in Minnesota. Seth, join us here. Let's get you up and on the groove here with us.
Sure.
Thanks for being here, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I want to cover one thing. Let's show a picture of the shop that we're going to tour later today. How neat is that? There's some great stories
Well,
behind.
that's home base.
Oh, that's home base. I'm sorry. I
That's
thought
the
that was.
original store.
Oh, okay. Ah, that's right. I see over here on one of my other screens. That's the original store. It's
Yep.
still a gorgeous store. So look at, if you're with us on social media, please give us a like, a love, a high five. I'd love to have you say something. You may even have a question for Seth here as we go through this episode with you. I want to stop for a minute and talk to everyone about the nominations for these great honors from Apex, the Shop Owner, Service Advisor, and Technician of the Year. It happens every year. We're in the third annual. The honors will be noted and brought up at the keynote at Apex, which is November 1st through this 3rd. You nominate a shop owner, technician, or service advisor of the year at aapexshow.com/service awards. And I'm a proponent of this. You know that. I think there are some really key awards that happen in our industry, and I do believe that we're in our 3rd year of Apex. So please, I know you know someone out there. Someone knows someone who just does an exceptional job. Okay. Let me see. What are we doing next here? We are coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix studio. And I sometimes call it my Carm Cave. Thanks, Dorman, for sponsoring the show. The aftermarket is filled with companies that make replacement parts, but few invest in design, engineering, manufacturing, programming, and testing like Dorman. They are home to hundreds of mechanical, electrical, and manufacturing engineers spread out all across the globe who ensure every part that is produced meets rigorous industry standards for performance. To do this, Dorman utilizes cutting-edge technology and equipment to test fit, form, and functionality of all their parts. Some of these tests include rapid prototyping 3D models for fitment checks, tolerance testing on both mechanical and electronic components through salt fog and thermal heat and pressure testing. Dorman drives their dedication to their engineering by including their in-house programmers who write and test new software solutions. Solving for a problem is what powers the innovation engine at Dorman. Dorman invests in these OE innovations to help you save time, your customer money, and prevent vehicles from coming back to your shop. Hey, to learn more about Dorman's engineering process, visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Hey, thanks, Dorman. A quick side note, Matt Fonslow, I think it was last week, put out an episode with Lester Kovacs from Dorman, their director of innovation, and they talked all about Dorman and some really interesting things. I know you'll love the episode. Hey, Seth, you've been a great contributor to the show. One of the episodes that you did with us just a bit back was yellow and red envelopes. That was it was one of those profound moments that says, uh-oh, I'm not prepared in case something happens to me. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
And you've contributed 12 episodes here on the podcast. Your commitment to advancing the aftermarket is duly noted. Thank you. This coming Friday, we're going to do an interesting debate on flat rate. We have Carlos Abuco, Dave Shadeen, and Brian Kelly may be stuck in Mexico, and he doesn't have good internet. So I'm not sure who's going to replace Brian, but he may not make it. But I know Carlo and Dave will be there. Well, look at let's talk about this great new place that you opened up and how quickly you pulled it off. Can't wait to hear the story, Seth.
Yeah. It was an interesting ride. We looked at the building, kept looking at it, had some contractors in, had a lot of negotiations. We couldn't get the deal closed until basically the last hour of December 30th, because we wanted it done by the end of the year. The seller wanted it done by the end of the year. So we really pushed at the last minute to get this thing closed and done, including tentative SBA financing and everything. So it was a whirlwind of activity to get it closed. And once we got it closed December 31st, my team got started on gutting and tearing it down and trying to make it into something that would represent our brand. And that was the process. And it was quite a bit of work.
So what were any of the big, okay, legal, got the deal done.
Yep.
Was the architect already with you, engineers, how all of this was going to come off, or did you just like rush, and said to everybody, hey, listen, you got 2 or 3 weeks to give me your proposals?
So luckily I have a good contractor I worked with, because some of you guys know last year we just got done doing a ground up build on a building in Medina. So this one, we had the same contractor, the same flooring guys, all the same equipment guys. We had a lot of people that were already used to working with us on a very, very tight timeline, because we built that, shovel in the ground to up and running in 13 months in the other one. And that was a process that we learned a lot from. And so we were able to leverage a lot of those things and the contractors, and my contractor knew timelines. And, he called me a few times going, I'm losing sleep over this. I'm like, well, we still got to get it done. But that was, you're showing some slideshows of the before. That took us 2.5 weeks of scrubbing walls before we could even think about painting. So that, grates, concrete, there was a lot of work. That pit you see there, that's where the alignment rack ended up going. But what you don't see is there was one of those old elevator lifts that was down in the floor. So we had to dig that out, get EPA compliance tanks come out, that type of stuff, and get that whole elevator system out of it.
Those would all be, the EPA would always be setbacks for any piece of property or any lift in the ground. So I find it exciting that you were able to pull a team together to meet your timeline. You're not a tough guy to do business with. I've known you for a long time. You seem to be kind of easygoing, but they also know that you're serious. You run a great business, so they aligned with you.
Yeah, they align with me. My contractor, who's been a friend of mine for a long time, actually made an interesting comment as he's working through this project with me. He goes, "You have a unique way of putting pressure on people without yelling at them." Is what he told me.
Well, that's a mark of a great leader, right?
Yeah. So he felt the pressure, but we worked together and got some stuff done. And what you see in the shop is only part of it. I don't know if Tracy put the before pictures of. We built on the other side of the building, we built our corporate offices and training room up there. And there was some before pictures of that room, which had to be torn down to the drywall and redone, and new drop ceiling and all the AV work done. And that was being done at the same time as we were renovating the shop. So that was another 2,500 square feet office space that we renovated at the same time.
Was that 2,500 already there?
It was there, but it was an old church, and I'm not sure what kind of church, because there were some weird murals on the wall, and I'm not sure what was done up there, but we had to pull carpet out and drywall out and wood paneling out and drop ceiling out and redo electrical and AV drops and everything like that.
Okay, so you put the dumpster out there, you gutted it, and but that came with the property.
Came with the property. Yep.
And you said, hey, this will be a great training center and a corporate office, right?
Yep. And that's what we use it for. So we have Safelite on the other side as a tenant. They kept their space. We renovated everything around their space essentially. So when I bought the building, Safelite National's in there as a tenant on the other side.
Wow. So you got a tenant, you've got corporate office, and did you get into the offices in 6 months too?
We got in the office in 6 months. We got into those actually earlier because we started moving some of our people down there. And then the other side of it is we acquired some of that space in a negotiation with Safelite. Then there was some mistakes on the CAM. So then we're working with Safelite Accounting on figuring out CAM reconciliations and who has rights to what space, who's paying what percentage of the CAM, property taxes, things like that, because they're obviously in a triple net lease. And so they want to hold their lease.
For many people that don't know what CAM means, it's common area maintenance, right?
Yep.
And you in your lease, for a lot of people that have never gone off and done the property thing or the lease, it's something that needs to be negotiated. Like, who plows the snow? You guys don't get snow up there, do you?
Oh, we get tons of snow.
I kind of thought been in Minneapolis a lot in my earlier life. So hey, give our audience maybe one or two. Listen, I bought a piece of property. I want to get open as soon as I possibly can. One or two of the most important things that you got to do right away.
Whoever picking your GC and
Yeah.
making sure you mesh with that general contractor and that he can hold timelines and not give you grandiose promises. I've seen a lot of people get with a contractor says, "Oh yes, 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 I can do that," and my contractor's like, "I said we want to open in 4 months," and he told me that's not going to happen. You know, he said 6 months would be pushing it, so I said, "Well, then we're going to go for 6." There is some, that's the biggest thing I can tell you is find a contractor that isn't afraid to tell you no or isn't afraid to say, "Here's the reality. Here's what," and they have to have good relationships with their subs. So he's like, "Hey, my electrical guy can do this. I know he can do this. I know he can do this." The unknown is the permit process from the city of Burnsville, where that building was. He goes, "That's the unknown. Some mechanical inspections, things like that." I said, "Okay, then how do we overcome some of this?" And, he said, "Well, we can do some temporary COPs," which when we were doing the remodel, we applied for some temporary COPs early and we worked with the city and we worked with inspectors of what do we need to actually occupy the building temporarily if the construction isn't done, so we can try to hit some of our opening times and deadlines.
Well, you just brought up, I mean, just the contractor who wants the job, who says yes. Yeah, that's great that you have a friend, but there's a lot of shop owners out there that don't have a friend who's a contractor, and they're going to get yeses from them. But I think it's important and critical that you get it in writing, that you discuss this every week. And, is there any challenge to your timeline to meet my timeline? And then the other thing you said is the G word. Hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember talking to, oh my God, I'm trying to remember who exactly, and it took them a year to get permits. Bought a piece of property. Just is so governments can be very, very difficult to approve plans and give you the certificate of occupancy. So,
Yeah,
congrats.
I mean, one of the things we try to do with the government officials, because we do have the advantage of being multi-stores, is usually I can get a hold of the city planner. I go, "Hey, can I get 10 minutes of your time?" The city planner has immense power to move things around. He's in charge of, at least in Minnesota, the planning the city. He's in charge of, we have a Met Council, and he's in charge of negotiating with them and working with that. A lot of times I can get hold of the city planner and go, "Hey, like to take you out for lunch, like to meet with you, like to talk, or set up a meeting in your office, whatever's comfortable for you." We sit down and talk, and I go, "Here's what we're looking to do. Here's what we're looking to do in your city. If you'd like to tour some of my other facilities, let's go see some other facilities. Let's see what we can do for your city." And then they want you there. And then amazingly, red tape starts moving out of the way, and we start to get process and we start to get movement quicker.
Fascinating and smart advice. Become friends with your local city planner or village or town planner. Invite him to your place. Let him see what you currently have. I failed to mention LMV Bavarian technical support, Seth, that you also have besides the 4 stores in Woodbury, Medina, Burnsville, and now New Brighton. Hey, listen, I'm just about ready to go and see the video tour of your place, but I want to share with you all 4 new listens from this past week. Napa Technician of the Year, Meg Lewis, came out today, and there's that little mention that I made with Matt Fonslow in Diagnosing the Aftermarket, that interview with Lester Kovacs from Dorman. The Inflation Reduction Act from Hunt Demarest. Of course, he did this like a week before they voted on it in the Senate, and he was kind of talking about what everyone thought was in the bill, and now obviously that bill is going to the House. It is so well worth listening to a accountant small business person like Hunt Demarest is, and listen to his perspective on that. And in the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast, Marketing Budgets with Kim and Brian and J.R. Portman. Well, I think I'm ready to head out to New Brighton and get a chance to take a look at this great new shop of yours. And I think did Tracy say you put the tiles on this floor too?
Oh yeah. All our stores that we own, we do the tile. Especially, it's a good long-term investment. So this, you can see our temporary certificate of occupancy right there.
Yeah.
As we walk in. So this is 6 months. Again, we did the, that's furnished and everything. We're missing some artwork that we're waiting on. We use some artwork from local artists. There's some stands that are supposed to go on those kiosks, check-in kiosks that we're waiting for. But we got a lot of our stuff up. The weighing room's up. There's some stuff that's missing yet, but you can kind of see our snack and beverage bars up for customers. There's our customer bathroom.
Nice.
So you'll see that there. There's Jordan. He's my on-site manager, promoted from one of my other stores. That's kind of our dispatch office. We use a sales office and then a front end. And obviously, here is the shop. We're still getting settled in and organizing it, so pardon the mess. But we're still moving some pieces and tools. You can see boxes came in on shipments. This is raw and how it was when I walked in one day as we continue to open this store and get tools and equipment. There's Will, my shop foreman.
Now, did I see from the photos that we had, the pre-photos, that you took this right down to dirt?
We took the alignment lift down the dirt there. The rest of the floor, there was a walkthrough video I sent in of before, and the floor was all pitted. We did not gut the whole floor with all the pitting. We decided to sand it down, grind it down. The tile company I use came in and said, yeah, we can save this floor. The epoxy companies wouldn't touch it, obviously, but the tile company said, oh yeah, we can do our magic on this and fix it. They send one guy from Germany. This guy's name was Werner. He's done one of my other stores, came back to do this. He travels around and does this. One guy, tile by tile, they're 3x5 tiles, tile by tile by tile. He laid this floor in just over 2 weeks by himself. Prep, grinding, and laying tile. So you can see we still got a lift in there for some other work, but there's obviously cars in there already. We still got some work to do. But so you can see all our equipment's in.
Let me stop and ask you a question. It doesn't have to be perfect. The boxes don't have to be where they have to be in order to get open and start generating revenue.
No, yeah, we want it to be, our general idea is we're trying to get stores 75, 80, 90% before we open. They got to be fairly ready, but there's some stuff that, with COVID shortages, we're missing some pieces of equipment. Our toolboxes are in. That's all done. We do all the built-in toolbox at all the stores, so those are all company provided. What you see there is something people always like. That is our system for fluids. So what you see on the top is the fill, and the bottom is how you fill, the jugs. And so the oil company comes in, they hook their hose up, they pump the fluids upstairs, which keeps floor space nice, and all our bulk fluids are upstairs. And then it's all a pump system, and then this fills all our bottles, so we hose all our bulk fluids away, and it's much quicker and faster for the technicians, more efficient.
Excellent, excellent design.
So you can see all our toolbox is built in. It's set up for currently 3 techs. We'll go upstairs here.
Seth, was this upstairs already there, or did you put it in?
This was already up there. Okay. It housed tires and junk and probably a dumpster load of stuff to get out of here that they had. So you can see all our bulk fluids are all there and plumbed in and ready to go. This is our employee break room and lounge, just waiting on the table and chairs coming in there. Some bulk storage of some filters and stuff for now. And there's a grand shot of obviously the whole shop and what's in there for our first week open. That Austin Martin down there needed a clutch and alignment and a bunch of other stuff in there. Our board system, mechanical rooms back there. Our employee bathroom is in here along with our mop sink. So that's kind of an overview of what this new facility is for us. This is a 12,000 square foot building. with Safelite on the other side. So what you're going to see now is our offices, our corporate offices don't connect. So you're going to see this is Safelite space here, and we have our own door. And now we're going to go upstairs into our offices. Now we named them because we're, German guys, German car specialists, Monza, Silverstone, Nuremberg, famous racetracks. So this is some of our corporate offices. This is kind of a corporate meeting space. Nathan, who works in there, he'll wave at you in a second. He's our operations coordinator. This is kind of a meeting room. This is Daniel. He's my COO. This is his corner office. This is his home office when he works from home, but he spends most of his time on site in the stores. But when he does need office time, he's got his office there. So we're going to go out of here, go down the hallway here, and then we'll go into the training room. So here is our training room. We have a slider that can come out. We got a boardroom right here. So this would be, our board and meeting room, break area, TVs, they're all on one TV. This is where we brought Brandon Steckler in. He did a training just for my staff during the week. So we do a lot of trainers that come in Wednesday, Thursday, teach the same class twice. We bring half our staff in one day, half our staff the other day. So we do a lot of paid daytime training, which is another use for this room, which is a whole other topic.
It is. And I stopped the video just to be able to high five and confirm with you and a handful of other, maybe two handfuls of people around the country have made this level of commitment to have the space if it's there, and make the commitment to training and to bring in people. Just a brilliant idea. I think that's a trend in having training as a strong pillar inside of every company. Daytime, pay for it, and control what your people are learning.
So this will give you, this is my office. That's the only thing that's not done. I don't know. We're going to build an office down there, so I have it. I don't know that I'll go down there that often. It's 45 minutes from my house, but there's an office space there should I need it, or I'll give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's there. So, and you can see all the TVs are on one network switch when we did all the networks. So when a trainer comes in, he pops his presentation up. All three TVs go live with the same presentation. So if somebody doesn't have a good view, they can look to their left, they can look to the right, they can look forward, they can see what they're learning.
What an incredible facility that you pulled off in such a short time, man. I don't even want to. I'm not even going to ask you. It would be too personal to ask you what the investment was, but I guess what I want people to see and understand is that you weren't bashful. I'm sure you got great deals and everything you got, but you invested some serious money in this place.
We invested some serious money, but I would say you saw Nathan, my operations coordinator, in that picture as we walked in his office there. He works under Daniel, and sharp kid, and he really scoured Facebook Marketplace. That big conference room table he got for $50. All those chairs in that room he found for $200. This was during COVID shutdown, and he's finding office spaces that are shutting down. He's like, hey, Seth, we can go get all these chairs. I need a truck. We go get all the chairs. I mean, he scoured. We really outfitted this place on a budget, because I got some team members that really looked hard to find some deals and on their own initiative and really did an awesome job, making the place look really, really nice for surprising little money. All those TVs he found at a closeout. I think those TVs were $150 a piece for 75-inch TVs. He found all sorts of stuff. They might have a little scratch on them. You're not going to see it when the TV's on. I mean, our team did some amazing things to find some deals to put this place together within budget.
What great advice that just because you're successful and important and profitable and a key contributor and a player in a marketplace doesn't mean that you have to buy everything brand new. I love it. I just totally love it. Scour Facebook Marketplace. That's the big takeaway from here. Scour. I love it. It was so great to have you on and to see the new Brighton location. With the story of from signature to open, even though it's not perfect, you got open and you started to generate revenue.
Yep.
Wow.
Our first month open, $54,000 in sales our first month.
Okay, on your way to 125 probably in the next month and a half.
So that's the goal about 6 months in. Yep.
Cool. Wow. Seth Thorson, Eurotech Auto Service Experts, thank you so much for being here. Oh, by the way, this will come out to you as a podcast in your ears this coming Saturday, but it'll be on our YouTube channel within a few minutes of us hanging up here. And if you want to watch it over and over again, and of course, the link is always on the show notes page. And don't forget about LMV Bavarian Technical Support. And thank you so much for this. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to everyone next week. Thanks, Seth.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.